Hey people, sorry. All right, guys, please, I'm trying to get new links. Oh my God. Please give me a second. I'm trying to share this with as many people as possible. Fantastic. Yes, yes, yes. We got lost in transition. Yeah, we got lost in transmission. Sorry. So I'm going to send the new link right away. I'm going to send the new link right away. Sorry, I don't know what happened, but the video just stopped working. So I'm trying to get a new link so you can share it on the WhatsApp group. If you can share this link on the WhatsApp group with others, it will help, please. Thank you so much. All right. Oh my God. All right. Sorry about the hitch, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm trying to forward to all our groups so that people can join with this new link. All right. So more and more people are finding this new link. All right. So I don't know what really happened, but I think it just went off. We got disconnected, and so the entire stream stopped. So we can't continue on the same stream. So welcome back, everyone. Welcome. If you can hear me, let me know that you can hear and see me. I've also changed the internet service provider that we're using so that it doesn't disappoint us again. All right. So I have people sending me a chat. All right. Thank you. So sorry about this. This is internet, purely internet. So Fatih, just give a second. Let's more and more people come in. Just give a second so that more and more people come in because you're saying a lot of gold there. So please just give it a second for more and more people to come in. All right. Thank you so much, man, for your patience. So I've had to send all our speakers new links to join. So this is technology for you. We can't predict it. It will do what it wants to do per time, and that's it. And it will not affect our mood. No worries. Thank you. Thank you. So Fatih, I'm just still sending out the broadcast across all our WhatsApp groups so that people who were asking about what happened can easily join. All right. So looks like we are on. All right. Hey, thank you so much. I see you, Tolu. Thank you. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. All right. So, Fatih, I'm bringing you. I'm bringing you on now.
Okay, sure. Okay.
All right. So I'm asked. Thank you.
I have no idea where I got lost. I don't know where did it get cut off, but let me just quickly go through the last.
Think you were saying something about. I think you were saying something about teaching them the parts of the body.
Okay.
That's
Awesome.
where,
So thank you so much. So like I was saying, educating our special needs children to understand the private part of the body and the public part of the body. I also mentioned that parents should try as much as possible not to shame their children whenever they are whenever they are doing something in public, instead of shaming them or making them feel bad about whatever it is, the behavior or the child or they are showing in public, which is not supposed to be inappropriate behavior. You pull your child to the side, or when you get home, you explain to the child that you're not supposed to do certain things in public. Remember that you should be using a lot of visuals, but I will still get to a point where I will explain some examples of the visuals that we can actually use with our children with special needs. And another thing is, as a parent, you really have to be observant. You have to be observant to notice that if your child is showing a certain behavior, or there's any changes in your child's behavior, please look into it, because a lot of time children, especially children on the autism spectrum, any behavior is changes in behavior is a sign that something is going wrong, or something needs attention, needs your attention needs somewhere else. Because there's a saying in the autism community that says that every behavior is communication. So for example, if you have a child that is constantly putting their hands in their pee, or putting their hands in their private, which often happens a lot, this is very normal. But when it becomes excessively, it's normal with some children, but when it becomes a frequent thing, like every single day, and it goes on for weeks or for months, this is a time for you to be able to reach out to your a doctor, or consult with your doctor to know if there's any underlying issue that needs to be treated. So I hope we are clear on that. Okay, so the next step is puberty. So puberty, like, there's a lot of changes in the body, and this changes is something that children with special needs do not understand. A lot of children with special needs like structure, routines. They like the same thing over and over again. When there's changes, and when these changes start to happen, it might be weird, it might be strange, especially when the moodiness comes that comes with puberty comes. A lot of things will be going on. At this point, the best thing you can do is, if you are not able to help your child, the best thing you can do is to speak to a behavioral specialist, or talk to someone that can provide support for you and your child, so that your child cannot go into depression by feeling bottling up. Because the fact that your child cannot express herself, she cannot express what is going on, her moodiness and everything, it might lead to something else. To avoid that, please see a specialist or a behavioral therapist if the need be, in case of any excessiveness. Another thing now I would like to talk about is that, teaching strategies. I would like to move to teaching strategies for parents to be able to teach their children. I said I was going to get to this area. Now, this is where we come with the visuals and the visuals and the images. How do we use visuals? I have some examples here. I'll just give a quick example of some of the visuals that I have that I use for my son. Usually this is like a checklist, or it's called sequencing. So you can have every parent to have his own in the order at which you want to arrange the things you want to do with your child, or you want your child to be able to do. So this is my son's bath time sequence. We start from turning on the shower. Sorry, this is not the first one. But it is something like this. You start from turning on the shower, scrub the sponge, you pour water on your body, you rinse your body, you put underwear. I hope you get my message. You put it in a chronological order, in an image like this, laminate it, and just stick it on the wall in the bathroom, so that your child can follow these rules and regulation. You can actually do this also with the girls, like in terms of shampooing their hair, washing their private parts. You just have images of their body and let them identify parts of their bodies by themselves. A network, there's someone saying that my network is having issues. Please, can everyone see me?
You're good. I can hear you very clearly. So it might be her network. You're going
Yeah,
on well.
okay, it might be a network. So that was just an example of the kind of visuals that you can use. It's called a checklist or sequencing. You can make that on your own. You can go just online, find some images of each body part or every content of information that you want to teach your child, based on how you want to arrange it, and be consistent with this. For your child to be able to understand it, it has to be continuous. It has to be a routine. So you have to create like a schedule that that works for you. So for example, I'm giving examples so that we can have a clear understanding of what is going on. So if, like, for example, with my son, we wake up, first thing in the morning is we go to the shower. It's always the first thing in the morning. I like to keep that routine, because once we go out of that routine, it becomes a problem. The first thing in the morning, you know that you're going to go to the shower. So once that stick, your child knows that this is what happens every day. You try as much as possible to not make a lot of changes. Or if it is that after every meal, you go to the shower, you take your bath, that's another schedule. If it also at night, after dinner, right after dinner, you go into the shower, also this is another way of creating a routine. So once it gets to a prolonged continuous for a continuous time, it sits in your child, and your child understands that this is the routine, this is what we do. Once I have my dinner, we go to the bathroom, and it makes it really easier for parents. It makes it easier also for the children, for your girls to understand what they need to do to take care of their body. Now I'm going to also get to the part, another aspect. This is also has to do with creating our images. So you can actually create like you can create like a color picture book. Sorry, you can create like a picture book. The picture book will contain images whereby you can show it could just be images of the body parts you want your child to know, or images of the things about parts of our body that you want your child to know, or information with images that you want your child to know. So this is another way that you can actually you create a picture book. It's very easy. The same way you print out these images, you make it into like a booklet, or you can just print out images and stick it onto a card, a book, a book kind of, just a regular book, and you can open it to your child every night. You can have a routine and give your child adequate information. Remember, let it be short and clear. Don't put too much stories, too much explanation, or too much words. It should be very, very clear and straightforward for your child to be able to understand. I hope we are following. Okay, I hope we are all following.
Yes, we are.
Okay, okay, thank you so much. So I already showed like an image of what a sample of what I have. Laminate a lot of these images. We have a lot of images in my house, a lot of printouts, a lot of picture visuals, and it works a lot of time with many children, especially those on the autism spectrum. Remember, I mentioned that different children with special needs have their needs, and you as a parent will be able to understand how best, or know how best your child understands things, and then that is how you're going to use to communicate to your child better. So, and I've explained using examples of pictures. You can also use the example of pictures to let your child understand what you mean by private places and what you mean by public places. So now when you're talking about private places, your picture will contain your house, your living room, your bathroom. Mostly, I think it will be appropriate to have the bathroom, the bathroom and the toilet as private spaces where your child can do certain things like put their hands in their underwear and do stuff like that. And then the public spaces, you will have like the parks and the outdoor, those images, so that your child can have a visual knowledge of what you are trying to explain to them. I hope this makes a lot of sense. Another thing is to have, I already explained some of that, to have a routine, and be consistent with that. You can also use role play. Often at times when I have issues explaining some things with my child, I do like a small acting with my other kids. So I have 3 kids. One of my daughter is also on this program, and she's been following. And we do like a role play. So I act out what I want him to understand, or what I want my child to understand, right in front of them. And we do it repeatedly. So if we're trying to teach my child a bad behavior, or to stop a bad behavior, or we're trying to teach him to understand a new information, we want him to understand how to say certain things. So we do it, we act it out in front of him. And that's like a role play. And while he's watching or seeing how we do it, I'm doing back and forth with his sister. We do this repeatedly, and until the child gets the information. It's best for easier understanding. It's best to use all forms of communication or understanding for your child. So while you're using visual, be using auditory and also role play. This will make it even easier for your child to understand. It's not going to be confusing, because you're giving your child enough edge or enough tools to be able to understand what you're trying to communicate. Remember that this body safety education is very, very important for our children. There's so many crazy things going out there. We've seen a lot of things, and like I said at the beginning, the children with special needs are more vulnerable to be victims of sexual abuse and being taken advantage of. So everyone needs to, as a parent, this is a very, very difficult and important role for every one of us. Now that I have mentioned this, I think I have mentioned, and then the last one, to use social stories. Actually, Mrs. Irene and I I was supposed to, create a workbook and sample social stories or sorts for that we can use for girls, but somehow we had a little bit of glitch, and then there was little time for us to work on it. But over time, I believe that we will still be able to do this project to have like a sample social story whereby girls can use, where our parents can use these social stories to explain. So the social story will basically be like, a small, straightforward story about what they should do, and the things that they should know about body safety, general, everything that they need to know. And then one last thing that I didn't talk about is monitoring our children's online activity. This is very important because our children with special needs, there are a lot of them that have the difficulties expressing themselves, communicating. They cannot come and call us and tell us that this is what is going on. And it is not about, it's not going to be a form of you invading their privacy in any way. It is just for you, a way that you will be able to look out for them. Because if you are not checking and monitoring these activities, you may really not know a lot of things that is happening. For my family, we stopped using the iPad, and I don't, because I really don't know about the security and the protection, whatever, for the Apple. But for Google, I know that there is this way that I can monitor what my kids are doing, what they're downloading, and whatever they're doing, because I have there's this family stuff on Google that I connected all my kids' application, their Google, Gmail, everything is linked to it. If you are a parent, it's best you use this activity so that whenever your child is downloading something that your child is not supposed to have, you're going to be getting notification that your child is downloading something and it needs to be approved. Or sometimes you also need approval, especially if you register your child with that particular tablet or your child's original age, which is something that I advise every parent to do. Whenever you buy a device for your child, make sure that you're using the child's original age to register that tab or whatever device if your child is using, because it will allow the companies to protect the privacy of your child in certain ways and not allow your child to download some things that they shouldn't do. So this is just an additional information based on the mom in me. I thought I should give it all out for everyone to understand. And so basically, I believe I have touched on most of the ways that you can actually educate our children. Now I'm just going to go to the last part, which is the skills that you will actually need. Like we all know, if you have had an experience or you've met with a parent with a special need, it is not an easy task. What you might be teaching your child and your child might be understanding at the go might take years, months, or years for our children with special needs. And then this is why we need to be extremely, extremely patient. This is one skill that every caregiver, parent, or educator needs to have to be able to educate a child with special need. You really need to be extremely patient. You need to be patient. You need to be passionate also about educating that child, because children with special needs, they have high senses. They can sense when you don't like them. They can sense when you're not really into it. They can sense when you're not just feeling it. You need to give it your all to be able to show them that you're actually trying to do the best for them. Another thing, you have to be creative. You can see a lot of things. I had to do a lot of creativity. You have to be able to think out of the box. Okay, this is how my child does. I think my child will be able to do this better. Oh, I think my child likes to do this way. This is you using your creativity. This is you using your creativity to understand, to be able to help your child. I can't help your child if I don't know about your child. So you know best. A mother knows best how a child thrives, how a child can understand things, how a child behave. You'll be able to know the best way to approach this. And this is where your creativity has to come in. The next point I would like to say is that your instinct, your gut instinct, that is our superpowers. Our superpowers, every mother has that gut instinct. That instinct that telling you something is not right. I want to check this thing. Listen to your gut, even if it is not follow your mind. If there's something that you feel is off and your mind, every part of you is telling you something is not right, listen to it and do what your mind wants you to do. Investigate further. Learn to ask the right question. Ask question. What is going on? If you're noticing changes with your child coming back from school, being withdrawn or sad, and then it's not a normal thing that you normally observe with your child, investigate further, ask the right question, go to your child's school as often as possible. It is your right as a parent. Don't think that you're bothering the teachers. No, especially if you have a child with special needs, it is your right to go into the school and ask at least every week to know what is going on. I hope you are all in. I hope I'm not talking too much and I'm not talking to myself. So you can drop your questions here before the end of the session, so that if I can answer a few questions. Let me see if there's any question here. Okay, so there's nothing so far.
Yes.
Are we all with me? Is my time up?
Yes, we are with you. There are no questions. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, okay, so far there's no questions at the moment. Okay. There's no questions. I think the mothers are listening while their daughters are chatting away, but okay. It's okay.
Okay, so I'm just rounding up now.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
You're welcome. Okay. And okay. So I've talked about extreme patience, observant creativity. Please follow your gut instinct and be ready to investigate and ask questions. Now I'm going to go to consistency. Now consistency is the cap of everything else. Consistency is the cap of it all. For children with special needs, they love routine. A lot of them love routine. They love sameness. They love repetition. So you have to be able to be consistent. When you're consistent means that you do it today. It doesn't matter how much time you spend to do it today, at least, but you have to be able to include the body safety activities slowly into your routine daily activities. I would suggest using bath time. So during your bath time with your child, bathing your child, you can use it to educate your child about your body parts. Ask your child, what is this? If your child is verbal, if your child learns how to use sign languages better, please find someone that can educate you and train you about using sign languages so that you can be able to communicate with your child. And now this is another way for you to be able to explain better to your child. Another thing is, I said, repeat frequently. Repeating frequently can be really exhausting, but it doesn't mean that you do several times a day. You can do as many times a day. You can do, even if it's 5 minutes a day or 10 minutes a day, but be sure that you are introducing or you are putting this activity in your daily routine. The more you introduce, at least you're doing it and you're continuously doing it every single day. It will get to a point, it's going to stick and your child will be able to understand. Educate your child on what your child should do in terms of when there's anything, any dangerous approach. Educate your child on what they need to know about caring for their body. Educate your child about what they should do or how they should react. This is another thing I explained, role play. You can use role play to describe to your child when someone tries to touch them in a private part, what they should do and what they should do in case of anything like that. But please let your child be educated. Let them be well informed about all of these things. Do not also assume that your child don't know anything. Many of our children, because they are non-verbal or pre-verbal, a lot of parents assume that, no, this child doesn't understand anything. This child doesn't know anything. Please don't make that mistake, because you may be affecting your child's self-esteem. Treat your child as you talk to your child like you talk to your neurotypical child. Sometimes they might not really understand everything completely, but to some extent, as they grow, the more you continue to tell them this same thing, the more you continue to explain things with them with the visuals and everything, they will understand. Lastly, educating our girls about body safety is something that we can't ignore it. When Ms. Irene contacted me, we talked about a case that was viral on internet some time back, and this is actually what brought up the need for this, whereby this lady was impregnated by someone, and she didn't know, because she was pre-verbal, and so many things are really happening. So many things are happening in this world. So it is very, very important that we give our children this body safety education in order to increase their confidence, empower them with the strength to be able to understand better how the world we live in works, because remember, they are living in a different world. And the last message I want to say is that we also need to do this in order to protect them from dangerous things that are happening out there. We need to do this to protect our children and to be able to encourage them to talk to us and be and be close to us. I've gotten the notification that this is the I should wrap up. Yes, I could go
Thank you
on and
so
on.
much.
I am so passionate about this, and
Yes.
yes. So thank you for having me once again.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you so much. And honestly, we need to have a full workshop with you. There were mothers in the comments asking about those images, that if they could order them or get them. So I don't know if you've ever considered designing
Yeah.
resources they could get
Yeah,
from you.
so I've actually been working on on creating some digital resources,
Okay.
and I'm doing the sequencing and stuff like that. But I'm still in the beginning to see how that works. So over time, I will be able to create more digital resources because I know that there is a need for it, whereby parents
Yeah.
can actually just print it and laminate it and use it for their. So um,
So
definitely we'll work
I'm
on that.
happy to, when you're ready, just reach out to me. I'll email it to everyone that came for this, email it to my network so that
Okay,
they're able to get it. Thank
sure.
you so much, Mama, for the
You're
honor.
welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day. God
You
bless
too.
you.
Thank you so
All
much. Yeah.
right, bye bye. Thank you so
Bye.
much. So while we're waiting for our next speaker to come up, Madam Auntie Tolu, you're the next speaker. You've been on YouTube, so you need to come back into the back end. Let's just watch one more video from, not one more video, let's watch a video from one of our sponsors, the amazing resources that they're giving to children, helping them excel and thrive at school. All right, so where's my video? Where's my video? Where did you go? I'm looking for you. All right, I can't seem to find that second one, so I'll just.
My name is Vanessa Chidi and I am in primary 5. Learning was very difficult. I didn't understand equations. I didn't really understand what the maths teacher was teaching.
My daughter was really struggling with maths. She was just an average student. But after I registered the app for her, since then she's been doing very, very well.
Ulesson helped me overcome all the challenges in maths in the video library. They explain how to solve equations, and in the Ask the Question feature, where you ask the question to the tutor and he'll explain it perfectly well for you.
My daughter doesn't depend on me to help her out in her homework anymore. Even if you have to give her exam now without reading, she has this confidence that she's going to pass her test, her exam at any time. I will recommend Ulesson app to every parent out there because Ulesson app is one in all. Every parent out there because Ulesson app is one in all.
One of the biggest challenges that girls face is with self-acceptance. There is enormous pressure to look like, speak like, act like, and dress like other people. Now, I'm not talking about inspiration. I'm talking about a situation where there's such strong admiration that a person starts to think that the others have the ideal reality they would have. And so what happens is you find girls looking down on their gifts, their talents, their abilities. The result, low self-esteem, following the crowd, seeing opportunities that they deserve but shying away from it, making decisions today that harm them long term. My name is Irene Bangwell. I coach girls aged 3 to 17, and I'm launching a monthly program for girls called the 10 over 10 Girls Squad, where I'm bringing girls together to learn about themselves, discover who they are, their uniqueness, learn how to love themselves, learn how to grow themselves, learn how to maximize themselves. Do you have a daughter aged 3 to 17? Would you want her self-esteem built? Would you like to have a daughter who is confident, who can take feedback without it damaging who she thinks she is? If you answered yes to any of these questions, and this sounds like an experience you'd like to give your daughter, then I'm recommending to you to sign up your daughter for the 10 over 10 Girls Squad. We will meet monthly. If you'd like to learn more about how you can sign up your daughter, it's super simple to reach out to us. The first thing you can do is leave us a comment under this video with the word I want, or send us a DM at raisinggirls.ng, send us a private DM, a private message, and just tell us I want. Or also you can also send us a WhatsApp message with the words I want to 081 00 944 320. You got questions, Feel free to leave the questions as well under the comment, send us as a DM, or still reach out to us on WhatsApp via 08100 944 And if you're watching this video from outside of Nigeria, remember to use that country code. It's 234 before 8100 944 I look forward to welcoming your daughter to an experience of a lifetime at the 10 over 10 Girls School. All right, we're back. So I'm waiting for our next speaker. She's trying to join. We have two speakers pending, so she's trying to join. I don't know what it is. She has a back end saying she's logged in, but I can't see her from this end. But we have another speaker on the call from Step Up Nigeria. So I'm going to add her now while Tolu and I are working out how to resolve our issue. So Gina, you want to open up your camera because you are live. So I'd like to just read a little bit about Gina and the work they do at Step Up Nigeria. So Step Up Nigeria is one of those organizations that we admire a lot. Oh, I didn't get your bio, but I didn't get your bio early. No problem. So you get to introduce yourself. Tell us all that you do. I'll be sending the girls the links to your videos through the email so they can watch it in the coming week. But you have the floor now. God bless you. Hello, Gina. There is no audio. We can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Perfect.
Okay. All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you once again, Mrs. Irene, for having me. I've been here listening to all the amazing things Mrs. Fati Giwa has mentioned, and I am so intrigued about all the resources she's been able to put together to help children out there. So I think what I'll be doing now is just to add to what she has said. But first of all, I'll introduce myself. My name is Gina Anthony Acien. I am a junior program associate for Step Up Nigeria, and I'm also the FCT lead for programs in Step Up Nigeria. At Step Up Nigeria, we do several activities with children, and one of them is that we engage them to speak about anti-corruption. So we do anti-corruption education for children, and this is among a lot of other things that we do to kind of create synergy between people, between parents, between teachers, between schools, even with our government stakeholders. All these things we do as an engagement to try to get to a better end. So we do anti-corruption education for children. We go to schools. We speak to children about the values they need to uphold to make them integrity certified people, integrity certified children, wherever they find themselves. And one of the things that we preach to children is to always uphold integrity. We want them to always uphold integrity. From everything Mrs. Fati Giwa has mentioned, you can see that she's trying to help the children, help parents understand how they can pass this information to children in a receptive way, in a way that they would understand, in a way that they will not shy away. And one of the other things that we can also do to push what she has also said is to teach the children to have integrity. You know, if a child doesn't have integrity, if a child lies a lot, if a child is quick to hide things, the child will not be able to open up to tell you if certain things are wrong with them, if somebody touched them somewhere, if someone did something to them that was inappropriate. They have to have built some form of moral integrity in them that allows them to be able to speak up when they need to speak up. Now, we can see some of these examples in some of the films that we have projected. I think, like Mrs. Irene said, she will be sending the link, but we've had some animated films, animated books that we have turned into films at Step Up Nigeria. One of those animated book is Emeka's Money. And Emeka's Money is a very, very interesting film. I'm hoping that every child here gets the opportunity to watch it, because it is very, very educative. You get to learn even the salient points from life. You get to learn it from the book, from the film. And if you also want to purchase the book, you can let us know. But we also have it in print, and we also have them on YouTube, so you can go to YouTube and watch the films. Now, basically, Emeka's Money is talking about a corrupt governor who was giving money to build houses, to build hospitals, build schools for people in communities. However, he didn't do that. And Emeka was someone in his cabinet, and Emeka saw all these things happening. Emeka was part of it because he thought he was doing good for the community. However, when he noticed that something was off about what he was doing, he stepped away and he resigned, which is teaching children to always speak up. If you read the book and watch the film, you will see the series of consequences that happened because the governor did not use the money to build roads, build hospitals, build schools for children. I mean, children died, people had accidents on the road, so many bad things happen, and that also teaches children the bad consequences of being corrupt. And the thing is that most children believe that corruption happens in high places. I mean, when we go to schools for engagement, when we go to speak to them, they would say, auntie, but corruption only happens in government house. Oh, anti-corruption only happens in the big man places. You hear them saying these things, and that's because they actually think that corruption cannot happen in their classes, or corruption cannot happen in their schools. But we are trying to educate them to let them know that corruption can happen in your class, corruption can happen in your school, corruption can happen at home, in the little lies that you tell, in the stealing that you do, in the little things that you do that you think nobody sees you. So we try to build them up to have integrity. And for the children here, if you don't know what the meaning of integrity is, integrity means doing the right thing all the time, whether anybody is watching you, whether your parents are watching you, whether your teachers are watching you, doing the right thing all the time. Mrs. Fatigiwa has mentioned some of the very, very salient points that parents can use to educate their children. Your parents, if they're educating you about this thing, I mean, it is helpful if you keep them in mind and use them, not just because they are there, not just because your parents are looking at you face to face, but because you know that these things, they are appropriate. They are things that you should do, the things that you should know to make your life a better, to have a more robust life. So that's one of the things that Emeka's Money teaches. I hope you get to watch the film. Emeka's Money teaches you to shun corruption. Emeka's Money also teaches you to speak up. Today we are having children, even the children that the children with disabilities. Most of them seem that they cannot speak up, but if you listen to them, if you look at them, you just watch them, some of them will point out something that's bad that's happening. And that's one of the things that Step Up Nigeria does. We include them in our engagement. We don't let them slide. We don't leave them alone and say, oh, because they have disabilities. No, we include them because we know that they have this in them to speak up. And so every child around in schools, at home, it should always have it in mind to always speak up. If you see something bad happening, speak up. If you cannot speak to your teacher, you can speak to your parent. If you think that if you are reporting a bad action and someone is going to scold you, you can write it and send to your parents, or write it and send to your teacher. Just something that spells what has happened to you, and so that actions can be taken. Like that bad action can be corrected immediately. Another film, or another animated film that we've turned to, another animated book that we've turned to a film, is called Halima's Vote. And I'm sure we just recently finished our previous election, and Halima's Vote was focused on vote buying. However, that is not just the salient point of Halima's Vote. Halima's Vote also speaks about someone who spoke up. A governor goes to a community only when it's time for election. I mean, as children, as parents, I'm sure we've seen this happen. We've seen this happen a lot. So the governor will go and speak about the things that he's going to do, but he doesn't do it. So he makes promises and he doesn't keep it. So one of the points that we're trying to bring out from Halima's Vote is that children should always speak up as well, like Halima did in the film and also in the book. Halima spoke up. She spoke up immediately she saw that the governor was coming back recurrently and he wasn't doing anything, even though her husband and his friends were part of the cohorts that were collecting money and bribing people. She spoke up immediately, and that's one of the points that we need to portray for our children. If you want your children to be able to speak about any inappropriate thing that's been done to them, we need to inculcate in them the moral to speak up. They need to be able to speak up, and they need to know that there are consequences for bad action. So if you are someone that participates in bad actions, then you have consequences. There are consequences for you. Then if you're someone that sees a bad action and you report it, then you need to know that that person that participated in that bad action is going to be corrected. They need to know that there are consequences for bad action. So that's one of the points from Halima's vote. Halima's vote also shows the fact that there was a communal living. People were together, they listened to each other. Imagine if, as a parent, you don't listen to, you will not know what is happening in other schools. You don't know, like, if there's a need for you to always, put your head on the ground to listen to everything that is happening around you. That is also going to help you to protect your child. So in Halima's vote, we could see communal living, where Halima had to gather every other person and speak to them, telling them that the vote buying was causing them more harm than good. So that's also one of the points from Halima's vote. And I'm sincerely hoping that all the children here and also the parents get to watch this film, because it is very, very, very informative. It is very, very, very interesting. Another animated book that we've turned to a film is called Tosin's Story. And we just had that launch sometime in June. Like, that's very, very recent animated film that we launched. And Tosin's Story is talking about a journalist who is surrounded by people that are being given brown envelope. Now, I'll give an example. When we went to a school and we were speaking to children about Tosin's Story, they had the book, so they were reading the book. And when we asked them, oh, what's brown envelope? Most of them could tell me that, oh, brown envelope is bribe. They were aware. They were aware that brown envelope is bribe. So we think that children don't know these things. We think that, oh, that they don't know, but we know that they know. We know that they know these things and they are aware of it. So this is the reason why we have to continuously speak to them over and over again, so that those points are laid in their hearts. We also have another book called Answer Speech. I'm available for any link up through Mrs. Irene. You can let us know anytime you want to have access to any of those books or any of the film. They're on YouTube. Please watch them. They are very educative. They will help you build the values that you need to have. I once again want to say thank you to Mrs. Irene for having me and for having Step Up Nigeria in this session. I'm excited to see the beautiful work that is coming out from this. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Gina. I was just enjoying, if not for time, I was just enjoying your conversation. So parents, don't worry. Gina has already sent me all the links to the videos. I'm going to send it to you this evening so that you can get your girls watching. It's important for them to watch. And you would ask, why are we talking to kids about these things? In a few short years, your children are going to be the decision makers. And our country depends on people of integrity leading us. And I have faith that many of the girls that are coming to our boot camps are going to end up in public offices, become political leaders, corporate leaders, and we want them to do right by us. I don't want to be an elderly woman looking at newspaper headlines of my own child saying they were corrupt, in handcuffs. I don't want that for my children. So the earlier we start talking to them about integrity and the fact that the monies that belong to the nation belongs to all of us. So a few hands should not keep taking it and using it for their own benefit alone, while the rest of us suffer. Maybe we may not know this, but right now, Nigeria is the world's poverty capital. That means the highest number of the 133 million Nigerians living in multi-dimensional poverty. And it means that they don't have access to quality health, education, and there's another, either health, education, and something, because they can't afford it. And this country is an oil-producing country that has been ruined by the dishonesty of a few of us. So we will be bringing in Step Up Nigeria like this, different sessions, and they'll continue to talk to our children, because the future of this nation is standing on their shoulders. Whether they jackpot or not, whoever is left in Nigeria our children, wherever they are, will live with the consequences. Because our children are
Exactly.
showing up in countries, we've raised them to be honest, but people consider them dishonest. There are platforms that other countries are allowed to use, but Nigerians cannot use it because of what a few Nigerians have done. So we all need to change the identity of Nigeria by changing our own perception and character, because at the end, all of us benefit from our branding. I want to thank you so much, Gina, for coming to do this. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so
Thank you.
much,
Thank
Ma.
you.
Thank you very
Thank
much. Thank you. Have a nice
you.
evening.
God bless you. God bless you. So while I'm bringing in our final speaker before I introduce Ulesson, I wanted.
My name is Vanessa Chidi and I am in primary 5. Learning was very difficult. I didn't understand equations. I didn't really understand what the maths teacher was teaching.
My daughter was really struggling with maths. She was just an average student, but after I registered the app for her, since then she's been doing very, very well.
Ulesson helped me overcome all the challenges in maths in the video library. They explain how to solve equations, and in the ask the question feature where you ask the question to the tutor and he'll explain perfectly well for you.
My daughter doesn't depend on me to help her out in her homework anymore. Even if you have to give her exam now without reading, she has this confidence that she's going to pass her test, her exam at any time. I will recommend Ulesson app to every parent out there because Ulesson app is one in all. Every parent out there because Ulesson app is one in all.
All right, we are back. We are
My
back.
name is Vanessa
So this
Chidi
is.
and I am in primary
It's
5.
time for us to
Learning
host.
was very difficult. I didn't understand
No videos
equations.
again. Thank you, Vanessa. Welcome, welcome, Coach Tolu. How are you? Can you hear
I'm fine,
me?
thank you. I can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you so much for doing this for us. You just traveled and came into town. The only thing you should be doing now is sleeping, and here you are. I'm really grateful.
I'm
I've
glad to
been
be here.
this section, yeah. So, people, I'd like to introduce you to Tolu Adisa, one godly woman that I admire so much. She hosts this annual program called This Love, right? So I'm going
Yeah.
to allow Tolu to introduce herself. She's somebody I admire a lot. So Tolu, you have the floor. So we have mothers on the call, we have daughters on the call. So you're going to be speaking to both audiences, helping them know just how phenomenally beautiful they are. Thank you so much. I'll leave you now. So have a wonderful time.
Okay. Hello everyone. Good evening. I'm so glad to be here. As Sister Irene has said, my name is Tolu Adisa. I'm a teenage teacher, teenage coach. I love teenagers. I love girls. I love you guys. um, I want to thank Sister Irene for putting this up, for inviting me. Thank you so much. You're doing a great job. Well done. If you can hear me, if you're online, you can hear me. Can you? I don't know if you have kisses, but can you send kisses to Auntie Irene this evening? If you can hear me, just send kisses. You can put kisses to her. We're all girls, right? So you can put kisses or you can put the kiss icon, send it to her. We love you. Thank you for doing a very great job. Okay. I'm going to go into my very brief session. Can everybody hear me and see me clearly?
Yes, ma'am, we can see and hear you clearly.
Okay, great. So, I know you guys have been, you've been at this boot camp for a couple of days now, and you have been loaded with a lot of information. And I want to trust that by this time, you guys have gotten some of the knowledge you need to take care of your body, to respect your body, and all of that. And so, today is the closing ceremony, and I just want to tell you well done. And my topic, as I speak very briefly, is girl, you are enough. Girl, you are enough. Okay? What did I say my topic is? If you heard what my topic is, I want you to type it in the comment section. Girl, you are enough. And so I am just going to I'm going to use the acronym GIRL, to speak with us this evening. So here I go. We all know how to spell the word girl, right? Girl. L. Girl. Okay. So everybody has gotten me. Girl, you are enough. Thank you for putting the exclamation mark there. That's good. I'm sorry about that. Okay. So I'm going to start with G. G, you are good enough for God. You are good enough for God. That is G. And I'm going to expatiate in a little bit. I always like to think of the fact that God is a creator and not a manufacturer. What is the difference? And I believe this is a very safe space to talk about scripture. Genesis 1:31, it says that after God made everything, he looked at it and he said everything was good. Like, God gave himself a pat on the back when he made us and he said everything is good. Psalm 139 verse 14, it says that you are wonderfully and fearfully made. Everybody seems to get the wonderful part of it, but the fearfully part of it, people don't quite get that. And the way I like to think of that fearfully part is, imagine a neurosurgeon. When a brain surgeon is doing surgery on the brain, they are so careful, they are so particular, they are very very specific about the things they are doing. Every action is an indication of something that must happen. So imagine being told to do a brain surgery. Imagine how careful you'll be, because if you're not careful, things won't turn out right. And so imagine that God, the creator of the whole universe, was so careful in putting you together, knitting you together, making sure you were born in the right country, to the right parents, to have the right traits. So God fearfully made you. Can you imagine? I think that's an amazing thought to have. And I always say that the important reason why you must have scripture is scripture gives us scripture is the true reference point for every other reference point. So scripture helps us to know what is a lie and what is the truth. And so that's why, I always encourage girls, I always encourage teenagers, look out for scripture, find out what scripture is saying about you, hold on to it, because that is the truth among every other lie that, you are bound to hear out there. So G again is, you are good enough for God. If there's any teenager or any child online that creates or makes things, or you write a poem, you know that there's always an inspiration before you do something. Like, especially those who are artistic or those who write a lot, you figure out that you got an inspiration before you did that thing. And it's the same thing with God. God had an inspiration. There was something he thought about. There was something that he created, that he imagined in his mind. And he felt like, only Betty, only Franca, only Tayo, can do this thing like this. So he created you. You were not manufactured. So there is nothing about you that is a mistake. If you are good enough for God, then girl, you are good enough for anybody else. Do you understand that? I want us to really understand that. So you were created, not manufactured. God had an intention for you when he was creating every part of your being. So you are created, not manufactured. I can go on to talk about all the wonderful things, how wonderful you are. We're about 8 billion people in the earth. Nobody talks like you. Nobody has the same ears. Can you imagine? Nobody has the same ears. You should kiss your ear. I think I want to kiss my ear. Mwah. Nobody has the same ears like you do. Nobody walks like you. Do you know that? Do you know that even the way you walk is a unique footprint? Do you know that? So, girl, you are enough. You are a creation. You're not a product. Okay. So I will go to I. Can anybody guess what I is? Can anybody guess what I is for? I'll wait a couple of seconds to see. I. We're talking about the girl acronym. We said G is good enough for God. And we expatiated by saying that you were created, not manufactured. God had a specific design. You are an inspiration. You bring inspiration to God. I, intelligence. I am unique, interesting. Okay, integrity. Very nice words. Thank you very much. So I is you are intelligent enough to grow. You are intelligent enough to grow. And I want to, under this, I just want to briefly talk about mindsets. I want to quickly talk about mindsets, and I know you guys can really comprehend this. Now, there is a mindset that allows us to grow, and there is a mindset that doesn't allow us to grow. And you know that if you do not grow, then you can't produce the things, you can't produce fruits, you can't do the things you are supposed to do. So growth is important, and you are intelligent enough to grow. And the way to grow is by having a mindset, and that mindset is called a growth mindset, right? That mindset is called a growth mindset. Now, the opposite of having a growth mindset is having a fixed mindset. A fixed mindset says, I'm not a math person. I don't like math. That's a fixed mindset. I'm not good at music. That's a fixed mindset. That's just the way I am. I can be sassy sometimes. That's just the way I am. That's a fixed mindset. Do you want to know what a growth mindset is? A growth mindset says, I might not be very good at math now, but I'll try harder. A growth mindset says, I don't really like talking much in public, but I'll try and work on it so that if I have to, I love the fact that with teenagers, we are also individuals. There's some people think that all teenagers should be hyper and all over the place. But no, you actually have introverted teenagers. I'm introverted, whether you like to believe it or not. I'm introverted. And as a teenager, I didn't like talking in public. I didn't like being called upon to do anything. I just wanted to stay in my little corner and not talk to anyone. But you see, as you get older, life is going to put you in positions where you need to step up to the stage. Do you understand? Step up to the stage, do something that you have to do. And after that, you can go back into being your introverted self. But the fixed mindset will say, I'm quiet, I don't like to talk, and I'm not going to talk to anyone. But the thing is that you're a teenager, you're growing, you're going to get into adulthood. Life is going to present you with situations where you might need to talk. What if you have an interview, for college? You're going to have to talk, and you're going to have to learn how to do that. So again, I is for intelligent enough to grow. And by growth, we mean having a growth mindset, having a mindset that I can. That is so important. It's too important for us girls. We must grow. We must grow. We mustn't stay in the same position, that we are in. We mustn't allow the label of society, to get stuck on us and get stuck in our mindset. We mustn't allow that mentality that says girls should just grow up, get married, stay in the house and cook for their husbands or things like that. That's a fixed mindset. That's not a growth mindset. So in order to have a growth mindset, you need to realize that, girl, you are intelligent enough. You are intelligent enough to have a growth mindset. You continue reading books, continue expanding your mind. Do we understand? So we have spoken about G, you're good enough for God. That means if you are good enough for God, you are good enough for everybody else. Trust me. I, you are intelligent enough to grow. By growth, we said having a growth mindset. You can. You can. So we're going to R. Who wants to help me out with R? Let me see. Who's going to help me out with R? R. R. Okay. I am going to let the cat out of the bag. Responsible. I see responsible from our boss day. Thank you. Ready enough for life. I thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I like that. Ready enough for life. Royal. Awesome. Awesome adjectives. Great job, guys. You guys are doing well. My R is real. 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 I love real people. Don't you love real people? I think Auntie Irene is a very real person. Too real. I love real people. They just make the world a better place. So R is for real. You are real enough to ask for help. Help. You are real enough to ask for help. You know one thing about fake people, and I'm sure none of us like fake people. Fake people like to pretend, like they have it all together. They know exactly what they're doing. And a lot of times, the truth is that not everybody knows what we're doing. We all don't know exactly what we're doing. Do you understand? Everybody needs help. Girl, you are real enough to know when to ask for help. Okay? You are real enough. You are real to yourself. You know when you are struggling with something. Do you understand? You know what your limitations are. You know what you don't know. You know what you know. But you're also real enough to be able to ask for help. You're real enough to be able to say, Auntie Irene, I have this question for you. So this and this happened. What do you think I should do? Instead of pretending like you know the answer at 9, 10, 11, 12, we all need people that we can go to and talk to. Okay? We all need people that we can ask. Some of us very silly. Let me tell you guys some of the childish things I've done as a teenager. Imagine not wanting to ask so as a teenager, right? Sometimes we get into that phase where we might have like daddy issues, right? And imagine me not wanting to ask my daddy for money for my exams because maybe daddy upsets me. I'm not happy with him right now. And so I didn't want to ask him for money for my exams until it was really, really, really close. No, now, come on, guys, let's be real. You have to be real enough to know when to ask for help. Asking for help from responsible adults, from good adults that you can trust. Adults that you can trust, not just any adults, but adults that you can trust. And guess what, guys? A lot of times, your parents actually want to speak with you. Your parents are fantastic options to go and speak to when you have issues. So, girl, you have to be real enough. You have to be real enough to ask for help. Okay? Are we good on that? I hope we are. G is good enough for God. I is intelligent enough to grow. R is for real enough to ask for help. Talk to someone. If you're feeling somehow, you don't feel good about yourself, something happened, it's disturbing you emotionally, it's messing up with your psychology, please can you talk to someone? In fact, I want to ask that every girl on this platform, today, you must recognize that adult you are comfortable with and be able to talk to them whenever you have issues. Okay? Even as an adult, I still have my go-to people that I talk to when it just all seems so much and I can't handle it by myself. I'm real enough to admit it. I can't handle this by myself. And I go and talk to my trusted friends, okay? So you need everybody. And then the last one, I said this was going to be a short one. The last one is L. And I'm sure you guys can guess this one. L. What is L? What does L stand for? Come on, guys. Loyal, loving, loyal. I'm waiting for one or two more L's. Love, lovely. Okay. L stands for you are loved enough to love others. You are loved enough to love others. There is nobody else who can love you as much as God loves you. And I hope, this is a truth that really sinks in. I always tell teenagers that this truth, the biggest truth in the world, if there is anything like that, the biggest, the most truthful thing in this entire world, right, is that we are loved by God. We are so loved by God. We are deeply loved by God. God loves us so much. Can you imagine that the person who created this world, not just this world, he created the galaxies. He created all the stars in the sky. That mighty God, he loves you and he loves me too. That should be your biggest truth. So that you know what, whenever the darkness of sadness wants to creep in, remember that truth. Why should I be sad? God loves me. Let that be your number one truth. You know what I always tell teenagers? I say every other kind of love should be Jara. If you know the love of God, every other love should be Jara, is added on love. Your parents love you. Your parents love you so much. Your parents love you so much. I remember when I was a teenager and, I was ill and I had a certain very uncomfortable symptom. And my mom would just be looking at me like this because she didn't know what to do anymore. So one day I asked her, I said, Mommy, why are you looking at me like that? She said, Tolu, I wish I could take your sickness and put it on myself. That's what my mom told me. I want you guys to know, your parents love you. They might not show it in the way you want them to show it, but your parents love you. Your parents can give their eyes for you. Your parents will do almost anything for you. So after God's love, the love of your parents, just know that every other love you are collecting is Jara, because you should be enough. You should be fed enough in those loves already, that when somebody else loves you, maybe love from friends, love from your peers in school, that one is added on love. Love from maybe like a community, that one is, you say thank you, you appreciate it, and then you love back. But you're not a needy girl. No, you're not a girl that is looking for love up and down. You're not looking for something that is lost. Love is not lost. God loves you. Your parents love you. Auntie Irene loves you. There are people around you that love you so much. So don't go looking for something that is not lost from the wrong people and from the wrong places. Please, you are highly loved. You are so loved, okay? I can't overemphasize that enough. I'm a love enthusiast. You are loved, my darling girl. You are loved enough so that you can love other people too. I'm not talking about boyfriend and girlfriend kind of love. When the time is ready, yes, God will give you the capacity you need to love another human being and actually stay with them for the rest of your life. Because that is not, you don't do that by ordinary love. You do that by supernatural love, okay? Trust Trust me, you do that by supernatural love. But this today, I'm talking about showing love to everyone around you, showing love to your parents. You know, I was talking to a group of teenagers this last week, and I told them, I said, when somebody loves you, what do? You appreciate it and make sure you love them back. When your parent, when you know in your, you know that your parents love you, you appreciate that love and you love them back. Okay? You love them back. Love other people. Love your friends. Let them be. Let me tell you guys a brief story. You know, when I was in the university, I got all confused. You know, I suffered, I suffered a huge, in my mind, a huge heartbreak. Massive heartbreak. Oh, it's not joke because I'm smiling now. It wasn't funny that time. But I suffered a huge heartbreak. But I guess that was what God was using to call me to himself. And you know that I couldn't talk to anybody about it. I was feeling so depressed. I couldn't talk to my parents about it. I couldn't talk to my sister about it because I wasn't a real girl. Do you understand? I like to form. I liked forming a lot. I like pretending that I had it all figured out. I had my life all together. It would be an insult. It would be as if I don't know what I'm doing if I can't tell somebody that I need help. So I was very proud, foolishly proud, actually. So I couldn't talk to anybody. But there was this guy in my university. All he used to do, he never spoke to me, but he every now and then he will just give me invitation to fellowship, and he just had a genuine smile. Hello, and he will just give me invitation to fellowship. And so when that matter wanted to wound me, when it had gotten here, this I didn't even know his name. As of the time he used to give me hand bill for fellowship, I didn't even know his name. Even now I can't remember his name, no matter how much I try. He was the one I went to go and look for because there was just something. He just looked like, it felt like if Jesus was a human being, Jesus would have this guy's facial expression. He was never judgmental. He always had a smile on his face. And so when I went to meet him and I was telling him that this is how I'm feeling, this is what happened to me, he started telling me about God. He said, Tolu, do you know that God loves you? Do you know that you are too precious in the sight of God to be feeling this way or to have this mindset about yourself? And that is how this journey, this trajectory, this path, that's why I can sit down here now and be talking to you guys. Because somebody not held my hand physically, but somebody spoke to me about love, about what it means to actually love. Someone pointed me to God. So girls, know that you are loved enough to give love back. There are some girls in your class, Auntie Irene might not be able to reach them. Their parents might not be able to reach them. But guess what? God has put the right words in your mouth to be able to reach that other girl. That other girl that is suffering in silence. A girl might be feeling so bad about the way she might just be feeling, you know, it's so weird. My sister doesn't wear any skirts because in her mind, she doesn't have nice legs. But every time I was like, your legs are awesome. Your legs are fantastic. There's absolutely nothing wrong with your legs. Girls, I want us to be the kind of girls that encourages other girls, that places a crown of beauty on the head of other girls. Let's have lovely words to say. If you don't have something nice to say about somebody, then maybe you shouldn't say anything. But you are loved. I'm challenging you. You have too much love to just keep it to yourself. Spread love. Spread love. Start embarking on little projects. Tell your mom, tell your parents, I want to feed 10 homeless children. Cook the food by yourself. Let your parents take you to a place where you can give out food. Go and hand out that food. Some of you have so much clutter in your wardrobe. You have so many clothes that you are not wearing. Pack them up. Look for children, other children that need it around you. give it to them. Girl, you are enough. We have said G stands for you're good enough for God. If you're good enough for God, you're good enough for everybody. You are good enough. I is for intelligence. You're intelligent enough to grow, to have a growth mindset, to have that I can do this. I can be what I need to be to grow. R is for you're real enough to ask for help. And it's important, let me just chip this in as well. Get mentors. Get mentors, okay? And L, you are loved enough to love others. Now, for the parents who are listening, as I wrap up, I just want to say, I first said it that girls are so beautiful. Oh my goodness. No harm, no intention of harm to the guys. But girls are lovely. There's a way a girl can be in a home, and that girl just brings beauty. She just brings beauty. There's something girls bring into a home. And the way God has made them, they are perfect. The only thing that girls require to continue to grow and blossom in that way that God has created them is to surround them with love. I wish I had a picture to show you, but, if a plant is not planted in the right, if a seed is not planted in the right condition, there is nothing wrong with the seed. It's the condition, it's the things surrounding it. Okay, your girls are perfect. They're a perfect seed. Please surround them. Let their nutrition be love. Let their nutrition be love. Let's be patient with them. Let's speak to them over and over. Let us not put them down. Let us not put the wrong labels on them. They are not lazy. They are not daft. They are not, fat. They are not silly. Let's not put the wrong labels on them. Let every word that comes out from our mouth, please, let it be to nurture. Let it be to correct. Let it be words that will cause growth. Okay. I just want to say thank you so much again, Sister Irene, for having me. I'm so glad to be here once again. Thank you so much.
So we need to do this again. It was just so impactful. We need to do this again. We need to do this again. We need to do something with the physical meeting. I've been so blessed. I know the girls have been blessed. We're really grateful for your time. You really
Thank
put
you.
it out, and I like it that you use the acronym GIRL, so it will stick. They would always remember. There was just so much. Can you people type? I love you, Pastor. I want to say Pastor Tolu. I love
No, Auntie
Tolu.
Tolu is fine.
Please tell her thank you. Tell her thank you. I want to thank you so very much, ma'am, for doing this with us. I'm going to call you right after the meeting today.
No
Welcome.
problem.
Thank you so much. My love to your family, to your
Thank
husband.
you.
Thank you so much for doing this with us on a Sunday afternoon. God
Thank
bless you.
you. Thank
Love you.
you.
Thank you so very much. God
Bye.
bless.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much. So then we bring in our amazing friends from Ulesson. All right, Auntie Jessica, I have put you on. Do you want to turn on your video camera? Hey, Jessica, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for waiting the whole time. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
You
Can
want
you
to?
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. I can hear you
All right.
now.
Good
All
afternoon, and
right.
thanks for having me.
Yes. So you just introduce yourself. Tell us why you lesson decided to support this project, and go ahead and tell us about some of your products. We've had children in the comment asking how do they get the tab. They've been asking questions. You have the floor now. I'm going to leave the screen so you take your time. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Jessica, and I work with Ulesson. Um, Ulesson is an online educational application for primary and secondary school students. And when we got a proposal to partner with the Body Smart Girl, it was something we looked at it and we saw that it's something that would really love to be a part of, because of the Body Smart Girl teaches young girls about body positivity, which is basically education, and the ages that their audience as well, the ages from children between the ages 3 to 17, from what I can see here. So it's really something that we wanted to do with the Body Smart Girl. So yeah, um, Ulesson, like I said, is an online educational application for primary and secondary school learners. It helps students come online. So with Ulesson, students are able to come online and learn. So we have a variety of products. So first, you can actually we have the Ulesson education tab, and we have our subscription plans as well. So for the Ulesson education tab is a dedicated learning device for our learners. With it also comes with parental control, because we want to be able to we want parents to be able to monitor what their children do, because a lot of parents are worried about how their children interact with the application, or what they do online, or maybe they might want to study and just go and start surfing the net for other reasons. So the Village Education tab comes with parental control, and also it's a dedicated learning device for your child. That means your child does not have to come to worry you about your phone or your laptop or your tab or your iPad and all of that. So yeah, and then we also have subscription plans for people who already have a device to use. We also have like a subscription plan for them as well. We have a quarterly subscription, and we also have yearly subscription. So I can see OBNG saying I love you. Oh, if it's for you, Lesson loves you too. Yes, we love you. And we one of our aim as Lesson is to enable every learner reach their highest potential. Yes. So we cater to primary learners from primary 3 to primary 6. That's the higher primary. We also cater to the junior secondary school learners from JS1 to 3 and SS1 to 3. So for primary school learners, we have mathematics, English language, basic science, basic technology, and basic science, basic tech, math, and English. That's for primary, for upper primary, primary 3 to 6. And we also have for junior secondary school, we have subjects like math, English language, business studies, basic science, and basic technology. And for senior secondary school, we have arts, we have commercial library, and we have science library. So we have mathematics, we have English language, we have biology, we have chemistry, we have physics, we have economics, we have accounting, and we also do live lessons for government as well. Yeah. And so let me tell you one very one thing people love about your lesson, and why we want to make, why we care that because so we have looked at learning in the past, and we also want to make a difference. We want children to love learning. We want them to fall in love with learning. And sometimes in school, like in a school setting, some students are not able to ask questions to their teachers. They're not able to ask their teachers questions. And in a class, some students are just fast-paced learners, while some are slow. So the teachers tend to sometimes students are left behind. But with your lesson, because we understand that children love animations, children love cartoons, we decided to incorporate cartoon in what we do, like animation. So if you are learning about a job, or you're trying to learn about experiments or whatever it is, you're actually seeing these things live. And because pictures, children do not forget what they watch. So if you have parents in the house, if you um
Sorry, I think Jessica is going to join. Right, must have been the network. All right, Jessica, you're back.
oh, okay, you lost me for a bit. Oh, I
You,
didn't realize.
Or you came back almost immediately.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you very much, Irene. Thank you. Yes. So I was saying that you lesson with your lesson, what students watch, they do not forget, because it's pictorial. Like they can see videos, they can see these things like happening live, like they can see illustrations and animations to make it easier for them to remember. Like I was saying, parents, if you play cartoon for your child does not forget anything. Maybe if you play Barbie for them, they can tell you everything that happened in the Barbie cartoon. They can tell you about the character, they can tell you everything and scene by scene. They can describe all of these things, right? So that is the same thing we are doing at you lesson. Another thing is your child is able to pause, rewind, and forward. So if your child is watching a particular lesson and the child does not, maybe is wants to understand it better, your child can go back to replay, rewatch, pause, to take time and understand. And your child also is able to download videos. Oh yeah, so talking about downloads, we also have our lesson education tab 2. With the lesson education tab 2, your child does not require internet access to watch videos. So your child can watch our pre-recorded videos without internet, and that's what we are doing with the lesson education tab 2. And your child can ask for homework help. So if your child is given an assignment in school, your child can just ask for ask use the homework help feature. Your child can type the question or take pictures, and send it, and then a tutor is there to respond to them immediately. Another thing we do at lesson is we allow. Okay, I'm seeing your comments. So another thing we do at lesson, we go live. So we have live sessions where students can interact live with their tutors and ask questions and get answers in real time. Another feature, so the lesson have app has several features. We have multiplayer quiz where children can also um compete live with their peers around the world. Okay, sorry, I saw a comment here and I wanted to respond. Okay, all right. So I saw it. Yeah, so that's part of what your lesson does. And we there's a link that Irene is going to share, or maybe has shared with you. If you want to download the new lesson app on your iPhone or on your Android phone, you can just click on the link to download. And if you want to reach to our customer service, you can put a call through to +234 7000 222 333. Education is, I also want to mention that education.
Could you call the number again so that I can type it?
Pardon me?
Could you call the number again so I can type it and then
Okay.
leave it
All right.
on?
All right. So +234 7000
Hold on. Ooh.
two two
+234, yeah. 70.
7000 four zeros.
Okay. 4 zeros, yeah.
Two, yeah, 222
Yes.
333.
Okay,
Is that
fantastic.
accurate, Irene? All right. Is that
Okay.
okay? You got that?
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right.
So, yeah. Also, to parents, you don't have to worry about, because sometimes we have frequently asked questions. How do I learn with you lesson? What if I'm not around? What if I'm traveling? So with you lesson, it's online, and you can be anywhere and learn with the you lesson app. Anywhere you are in the world, you can learn with the you lesson app. All you need to do is launch the app and start learning. Yes. Thank you very much. Yeah, so yeah, +234 70000222 333. So do we have people who already use your lesson app here? If you have, you can just put a comment in the chat box. And if you have any more questions for me, if there's any question that you need to ask, please just do. And also, we also have a campaign that's currently on You Lesson Summer of Learning. So with the You Lesson Summer of Learning, you can learn, you can have you can spend your summer while learning. And of course, because this is a period where students are going to be going to a new class, you don't want to be left behind. You want to already have an idea of the things that your teachers are going to be teaching you already when you resume, a new session. So you want to be ahead of your classmates already. And oh yeah, so Heaven Official, your sister uses, oh fantastic. I love that we have people who already use the lesson app, and somebody's asking for preschoolers. Oh yeah, so you can actually use preschoolers can also use the lesson app, but because they are still tender, they might need parental help, in navigating the app and doing some stuff, yeah, on the ULesson app as well. So Precious, ERA, I can see a lot of you use ULesson app. And yeah, so back to you lesson summer of learning. With you lesson summer of learning, you can start learning this summer so that you can resume the new school year strong. And like I said, you can learn at anywhere and at any time at your own pace. You can, you lesson helps you be ahead of your classmates. You lesson you can keep repeating until you understand. You can also download and watch as much as you can. And again, with our lesson tab, parents, you don't have to share your devices with your children. You can give them, you can get them the lesson education tab too as a dedicated learning device. And like I mentioned as well, you can track their activities on the app with parental control. Yeah, so Chibuike Uda is asking, what if you have the tab? Can you still download your lesson? Sure, of course. If you have your devices, whether you have a phone, a tab, or you use a computer, yes, you can use the lesson app if you already have a device already. Sure. Yeah. So education is something that is going to take us to the next level. Education is something that is very important, and we love what the Body Smart Girl is already doing, especially for the girl child. And we believe that learning and still being aware of all of this and aware of threats around you is a very good mix. It's something that children should be aware of from now. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jessica. Thank you so very much. So someone asked a question that can they protect the that I want to read the comment for what it is. I think it's a parent asking that can we restrict content that could be harmful when they're using the tablet? Can we restrict
Yes.
content that could be harmful? Yes.
Yes, 100%. So with lesson comes with parental control that monitors what your child does, and also your child is not able to browse or access some websites online because of the parental control that comes with tabs. Yes.
All right, fantastic. So someone is asking, is you lesson free? So you want to talk about that? Yes, so that parents know. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So because what we lesson is not entirely free, and because we want to give a very quality give very quality products, and ensure that children, people, we cater to the needs of people. You let's say you have to subscribe to actually get to have 100% access to all of our plans on your lesson, but you have access to free videos a day. So if you're a free user on your lesson and you're yet to subscribe, you can actually watch about 2 to 3 videos every day on the app for free. And there are also things that you can do on the app as a free user. But if you want to have unlimited access to all of our plans, you have to be a subscriber. And we have plans for as low as 20,000 naira. That's the subscription, the 3 month plan, that's the quarterly plan. We also have for 1 year as well. But free users can also learn on the Ulesson app and use some free features and watch 2 to 3 videos a day. And you can also follow us on our social media. We put short videos there as well. We also have YouTube content where students can just YouTube is free. You can also watch some new lesson videos there as well. And we are also partnering with Wazobia TV, and that. So I'm going to send the channel number to you. So from 4 to 5 p.m. every day, students can watch lessons there on TV for one
Fantastic.
hour. Yeah, every day they can watch Ulesson TV, Ulesson videos on TV. I'm going to send the channel numbers to you as well. Yeah.
Thank you so very much. Your lesson is generous. I wanted her to answer by yourself, because the very idea that if you logged in today, you watch 3 videos kind of gives you a taste of what is on the platform. And the
Yeah.
videos are fun. I love the way they remind the kids, like there's a recap. And I
Yeah.
remember the time I used to go when we were trying, and my daughter would say, Mommy, I want to watch more. I want to watch more. And I'm like, all right, so we subscribed and we had no
Exactly.
regrets at all. There were live
I'm glad
lessons,
to hear
there were
that.
pre-recorded videos. It was absolute fun. So I recommend you lesson anytime, and you lesson continues to give as a gift towards the boot camp. They are on TV, you can watch there for free. On YouTube, you can
Yeah.
watch there for free. But Miss Irene just wants to share this little secret with you, that the real meat is in the subscription. When you subscribe, you have unlimited access across different subjects, across different lessons. You get support if you have homework challenges. So I
Yeah.
recommend you listen to every single one of you.
Absolutely.
So I want to thank you so much, Jessica, for your support. Thank you for
Thank
being a
you
part of
very
the
much,
program.
Irene.
I had earlier sent the link for how parents can download the app, the link you shared with me. I'm going to
Yes.
reshare it again this evening, along with the channels they can watch on YouTube. But this summer, you lesson is giving a 15% discount when you subscribe to
Yeah.
their lesson plans. So there's a 15% discount. I've been telling the girls during the camp that there's a 15% discount when you subscribe during this summer. And it ends on the 31st of August. So take note. It's been on since July, so it will be ending on the 31st of August. So jump in right now. Jump in right
Yes.
now. Thank you so
Exactly.
much, Jessica. Let me allow you
Thank
go
you
back to
so
your
much.
weekend rest. Thank you for doing this
Thank you
with
so
us.
much, Irene. Thank you for having me, and thank you everyone. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Have a
Yeah.
wonderful day. All right.
You too.
So,
Thank you.
so people, thank you so much for staying on so far during the closing ceremony today. We're wrapping up now. We're wrapping up very quickly. So just before we go, I wanted to just tell us a few things about what's to come. So the U lesson number is still on the screen, so you can take a short, call them and ask any questions you have. Well, it has been some week for us. We've had about 17 sessions in all. It's been exciting seeing all the girls. I'm seeing the number of people that are still on the call up to this moment. We're really grateful that you stayed. And so I just wanted to give us a little bit of an announcement. The first announcement is that we sat down and thought about how parents made sure their daughters came for this program. And we feel like for every session we had with the girls, we should have also had another session related to the same topic with the parents. Yeah. Adahi is supposed to be here, but as you can see, we're running out on time. And it turns out that our timing didn't work very well for her itinerary. So she sends her love. So she'll be with us in the next boot camp, I assure you, but she sends her love. So essentially, we are making an adjustment to our boot camp. It will always be 3 days. For now, it will still be free. But now what we are adding is that for the 3 days, we are also going to have a class for parents. For the 3 days, there will be 3 classes for parents as well. And then take a picture. If the number is too long, take a picture. So we'll be having a class for parents. We'll be having workbooks for parents. We'll be running a small academy for parents along with the Body Smart Girl Bootcamp. But this will take effect from April next year. This will take effect from April next year. So what's the next thing I want to talk about? The 10 over 10 girl, the 10 over 10 girl squad is starting in September. We are going to be, starting really strong. We had some parents ask yesterday that are we admitting Muslim kids to the 10 over 10 girls squad? The answer is no, and that's because the 10 over 10 girls squad is a Bible and body safety club. It's a Bible and body safety club. And so we want the opportunity to be able to equip girls, all right, to be able to equip girls to learn more about the word of God. I mean, we personally, I admire the way Muslim families make sure that their kids are exposed through Islamia, learning about the Quran, knowing what the Quran says. But unfortunately, for those of us on this side of the divide, our parents are so busy. Everybody's so busy. Sunday school on Sunday is just 2 hours. So we are not equipping our children enough. We're not teaching our children the word enough. And the wind of adversity and the wind of challenges coming will sweep them if they're not grounded. So the 10 over 10 girls squad is a Bible and body safety club. So, but our boot camp will always be open. Our boot camp will always be open. So if you haven't registered your daughter yet, you need to do that immediately. You need to do that immediately. The third thing rather, I want to talk about is our picnics. The picnics are coming up very soon. I just want to make sure I'm following the order of service. All right, let me see. All right, let me see. Okay, let me see. Yep, so the picnics are coming. The picnics are coming. We recommend that the girls sign up for it. So if you'd like to learn more about the picnic, send us a message and we'll connect you. So if you look at the screen, there's something scrolling down about the picnic. The Lagos picnic is August 26th, Port Harcourt is August 29th, and Abuja is September 2nd. So the picnic is very, very simple and affordable to attend. Don't worry. So ask us how you can, get your daughter to be in there. I want to thank you very much. So one last thing. We did the boot camp this time around very early in the holidays. So you're still at home for another 2-3 weeks before school resumes. So we want to ask you to watch the sessions at least once before you get back to school. Watch the sessions at least once before you get back to school. We also want to recommend that you share the links to the session with friends, family, people that weren't able to attend. Send them and ask them to watch. If you'd also like to host a viewing center in your office, bringing out girls in the community to come out and watch, we would be so glad if you can do that. I'm hosting a viewing center tomorrow that would attend to about 60 girls, and I'm really excited. So I'm appealing to you to please help us host a viewing center. Even though the boot camp is over, get as many girls as possible to watch the videos again and again and again and again. And so that brings me to the end of today's conversation. I had made the commitment that this meeting must end at 6 p.m. There was something else I wanted to talk about, but I would talk about it in another, through another avenue. I want you to go now. It's been 2 long hours. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. You have any questions about anything, product, anything, do let us know. So remember that if you want your daughters to be a part of the 10 over 10 girls squad, it is better for you to send us a message via WhatsApp with the words "I want." The number is on the screen. If the number is on the screen, the number you had sent camp to register your daughters, that's the best place to send it. And to bring us to a wrap, I'd just like to play one quick video before we head up. When your daughter likes a boy, what does she do? If she's less than 9, does she pull his backpack, fight with him at school, or quarrel with all the girls in class who also seem like they like him? If she's 9 and up, does she write him a note, get excited about the possibilities of having a relationship? If she's an older teen, is she under enormous pressure to make decisions that are potentially unsafe for her? My name is Irene Bangwell. I'm a Raising Girls coach, and I'm excited to announce that I'm starting a monthly learning experience for girls aged 3 to 17, tagged the 10 over 10 Girls Squad. In this community, we're going to be exposing girls to learning more about themselves, understanding the stages and phases that they're in, answering questions they have so that we are able to support them through all the different seasons, challenges, and faces that life presents to them. Would you like your daughter aged 3 to 17 to be a part of a community where questions that they have get answered in a wholesome way? If you answered yes to this question, then we're excited to welcome your princess to the 10 over 10 Girls Squad. There are 3 ways to get her in or get more information about how you can register her for the squad. The first way is by dropping a comment below with the phrase "I want." Just type "I want" in the comment section. If you're the kind of person that doesn't want to put your business out there, it's fine. Send us a DM with the phrase "I want." But much better still, you can send us a WhatsApp message with the phrase "I want" to 08100944320. We look forward to welcoming your princess to the 10 over 10 Girl Squad.
My name is Vanessa Chidi and I am in primary 5. Learning was very difficult. I didn't understand equations. I didn't really understand what the maths teacher was teaching.
My daughter was really struggling with maths. She was just an average student, but after I registered the app for her, since then she's been doing very, very well.
Ulesson helped me overcome all the challenges in maths in the video library. They explain how to solve equations, and in the Ask the Question feature, where you ask the question to the tutor and he'll explain it perfectly well for you.
My daughter doesn't depend on me to help her out in her homework anymore. Even if you have to give her exam now without reading, she has this confidence that she's going to pass her test, her exam at any time. I will recommend Ulesson app to every parent out there because Ulesson app is one in all. She has this confidence that she's going to pass her test, her exam at any time. I will recommend Ulesson app to every parent out there because Ulesson app is one in all.
All right, people, thank you so much. Good night, good night, good night, good night. See you in December for the December bootcamp, all right? See you in December.